set up a few things. All right. Cool. What's going on here? Guillaume says, these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves, my friends. What is going on here? Okay. It is Sunday. Saturday. It is Saturday afternoon. And my wife's asleep and the kids are playing. So I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to play myself. So there's this company called Electro, and they have a bunch of STEM toys. A couple of years ago, I blogged about one of their things, this company called Electro. And they basically are like online toys and fun stuff. And I bought one of their Raspberry Pi kits. And the Electro company has seen my blogs and stuff like that. I actually own a Crow Pi. Actually, two of them. I have this box and I have this box here. So I've actually had both of these that I bought for my kids. Now, they are currently on their Kickstarter talking about this Crowbits product, Crowbits. So they sent me some free Crowbits. It's not shipping. I've got beta boxes. So I thought it'd be cool to do a live unboxing because they just showed up here and see what I can build in a little bit of time. So I'm trying a new thing. This is all live, of course. And I've got multiple cameras. So what I ended up doing is I put my other camera over here. Okay, so this is me. And they sent me some of these kits. And they're pretty cool. So let me show you how this works. Because this, again, they did send me these for free, but they did not pay me for any of this. I don't do paid stuff or advertisement. You know, I just like toys. So here's the Hello kit from the Crowbits. So this is what they're currently doing their Kickstarter on right now. And I'm going to watch the comments. If you have any questions or comments, definitely speak up, okay? So let's open this up and see what's going on. This is the first time I've done this dual camera thing. I'm doing this live in OBS, so I can also do this. So here's the company here, the Kickstarter that they're doing. Here's the product, and let me go and zoom in on that. So these are kind of cool. So the first one they've got here is the power supply, and that just uses micro USB, okay? And that power supply there, you can turn it on and off, and I've just got that plugged into a phone. And what's cool about it is that it's Lego compatible, so these bricks can actually plug into Lego devices. And on the sides of these are little magnets. So check this out. I can take like this logic knot and I can plug it in, and you'll listen, it'll actually snap. So it's a magnet. Okay. And then I can take like an LED here from the box and we can plug that in, and then that'll turn on. And then if I switch here, see it turns on and off. So these snap together with magnets. It's a nice strong magnet, and that's pretty cool. And they've got here we go, look at this. Here's a touch sensor. Now, I've not done this before, but I kind of understand how computers work, right? So let's see if I can do this. I'm going to take the touch sensor, add it to the magnet, and then I'm going to plug that in. And then if I touch the touch sensor, you can see that the LED works. Feel free to comment in the chat there. Let me know that you're alive and that you're real people. So that's pretty cool. So let's add a, let's do this. Let's add a buzzer. That's cool. Okay. Light sensor. Okay, let's do that. Let's pull out the touch sensor. Let's add the light sensor. That's interesting. So when it has no light, it'll automatically, and look at that, I can actually adjust it. So the light sensor will do something if it sees light or not. Barnley is asking if I bought this for myself or for the kids. It's for the children. It's for the children, people. It might be for me, but it might also be for the children. Again, if you just joined us, the Kickstarter here is Crowbits. I don't have any kind of financial relationship with these folks, but they did send me some free kits. So this is a review of those things, and I'm doing the live here in OBS, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to switch over to my other camera here. And this is, again, all live. So these are cool. This is very magnetic, and it looks like the power and the signal are actually going directly through this. Again, this is over at the Kickstarter here. One of the things that I like about this particular company is that you can see that they've only got 2 weeks left in their Kickstarter, but they've met their goal, and they've already shipped one of these to me, a beta kit. So I know that they work and I know that they exist, because you never know when you're doing a Kickstarter if the things are going to be real. So what else do we got? I got the touch sensor. So I'm going to pull that out, put the touch sensor back on, add the LED. So that's cool. And then look at this. They've got an IR receiver. Let me pull that one out, the IR receiver brick as well. So let's open up the bottom part of the box here and see what else we've got, because these boxes have a ton of stuff. Now this is cool. This is an extension cable. So I'll pop that on here and pop it on. Look, that's a good strong magnet there. See, and then it'll still work remotely. Oh, I've got a thing. Now, great question. Brad Parks is saying what the NOT module's doing. Well, it's reversing. It's turning it off. So I don't think I actually have this on. But I found that when I went like this and switched it, it wasn't switching. But when I added the NOT, it did. So let me turn that off and put this back then. See? I'm not sure what's going on there, but it made it possible to turn the thing on. I might have it reversed. I'm still learning. Again, I just unboxed these things. Let me put these down on the table here. Let's see what else we've got inside here. We've got some cardboard cutouts. These are kind of cool because you can basically create stuff, and they've made little boxes to hold the stuff. So these are actually enclosures. Look at that. Enclosures to hold your kits. So you could go and close this up together, and then you've got an enclosure, then you put your toy that you made in here. And they sent me, let me go ahead and share my screen here. They sent me a bunch of PDFs. So they've got a very sophisticated PDF here that actually walks you through all these kits. So the docs are really impressive here. The docs have got like all the different things you can build, and this is with the Inventor Kit. This one here that I've got in front of me is the Hello Kit. So let me switch over to look at that. That's the Hello Kit. The Inventor Kit is here. We can look at that one in a little bit, and that's the right here is the PDF for the Inventor Kit. And then they have one called the Master Kit, which is even more sophisticated. That includes Arduino and thumbsticks and microbits and things like that. So there's a lot of different levels. And then the thing that's cool is that all these kits work together. All these kits work together. So here we've got the microbit color sensor and some other stuff. So I'll play with that one in just a moment, and maybe we'll see if we can build something. So that's the Hello Kit. I'm going to put that one aside for a second. That just fell there. Okay, so I'll put the Hello Kit over to the side. And then let's look at the Inventor Kit here. Again, if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits tool. They have a Kickstarter that they're doing. They sent me some free boxes, but they're not, again, they're not paying me for this because I'm just exploring them. I'm doing an unboxing here, but they did send me free stuff, which is fun, because they know that my kids like this stuff. All right, let's look at this. We have let me zoom in again. I need to make sure that I get my switching correct. Here we go. We've got a ultrasonic range sensor. We've got a servo. We've got a color sensor, microbit buzzer, another LED. Looks like we've got a DC motor, 2 DC motors here, so we could probably build a robot, which is cool. And then let's open this up and see what's underneath. Ooh, look at this. Okay. Oh, so here we've got the BBC microbit processor right there. Now let me actually take that guy out of there. Let's look at that. Here we've got the BBC microbit. So that's going to be the processor. That's going to be the brain for our product here. And then I can see here the microbit compatible controller. So I'm going to pull that off. And it looks like, I'm just looking here, should be able to just pop it in there. That's pretty cool. So then that'll be the thing that controls what we're doing. I wonder if it goes in, which way it goes in. I'll look at the instructions in just a second. So we'll plug that in and see if we can make something. And then underneath here, oh, here we go. Now we're talking. Wheels. That's cool. Feel free to comment in the chat there and let me know that you're real people. It's always nice. This is cool. So there's actually some Lego compatible elements. These look like Technics that we can use to go and make a robot. And then we've got more extensions. And then of course, another Lego compatible element there as well. Two of them, in fact. And it looks like a micro USB port as well. And then some documentation. Ooh, a little front end for the car. Looks like we can make a car and get a little front end on the thing. And then I believe, here it is, they also sent a track so we could make a line following car right here, a line patrol car, and then see if we could make a robot follow this around. So again, great for kids. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Kickstarter for the Electro. This is the Crowbits tool. These folks have been nice folks to me in the past, and I've actually purchased a number of things from them, including their Raspberry Pi laptop. I bought one of those for the kids. And they are having a Kickstarter right now, and they sent me some free stuff to look at. One of those things that they're kickstarting is the Crowbits Kickstarter. They're not paying me for this. They just sent me some free stuff to play with, which I thought was very nice of them. And I'm taking a look at that in a live unboxing. So this is up here for the kids to play with. Let's switch back over to here and let's look at what we've got. So this one has got a gesture sensor and a color sensor and a bunch of stuff. And then the master kit here, which I think is the more advanced one. Ooh, look at that. Okay, this actually has a screen. And notice that they all have the same magnetic click dealies here, so you can plug stuff into them and they just stay. This one's got a screen. This looks like an ESP32 with a screen, switches, and an SD card slot. And then one of the things that I think is fascinating, and I haven't figured out how it's going to work, is this one here called the 2G module. So I'm not sure if I'm understanding this correctly, but I believe I could buy a SIM card or maybe use one of my local SIM cards and I could have this be wirelessly attached. But I know that the ESPP includes Wi-Fi as well. And then they've got a keyboard and then a little joystick here. So we can maybe play some games. Yeah, Barnley's pointing out that you want to have these prices be reasonable. And the way that you get prices reasonable for things like this is you make it so they are, you can make them at scale. Absolutely, you want to make sure that these are, oh, look at that. That's cool. This is kind of a squishy Game Boy looking thing. So that implies to me that I can probably put this inside the squishy Game Boy part. Ooh. Okay, hang on. Oh, look at that. They've actually cut it out exactly so it fits in. Ooh, that's clever. Look at that. We can make our own little video game there. That is going to be pretty cool. I'll probably make one of those as well. So that's kind of cool, squishy little thing here. And then inside this box, we've got a USB SD card. Ooh, fake cell phone. That's awesome. Oh, okay, so that's what this is for. Look at this. So I can put that inside, line it up, And now we could make a cell phone and then put the screen up here. So that's a great point because these things attach to each other. I guess I could go like that and then plug that in and then put it inside the little rubber case here. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Electro Crowbits, which is currently doing a Kickstarter. You can check out that Kickstarter. There should be a link in the descriptions at the bottom there. And they sent me some free stuff to look at and to unbox. So they did give me some toys to play with, but they're not. This is not a paid thing. It's just they know I like toys and I want to play. So let's look at this. They sent a bunch of documents. Here's the first one, the Inventor Kit, which is this one here, which has this BBC micro bit. Looks like the Master Kit is the one to get. Folks are agreeing with this. Oh, are you saying this is the Inventor Kit. You're saying that the Master Kit's the one to get. So here we go. Let's look at this. So here's some information about the modules and the products. This is the documentation that it's going to come with. Modules can be connected by magnetics or magnetic cables. Cool. Ooh, okay, so I can take that and then I can plug in 2 motors. Okay, so we'll plug in a motor here. Oh, and it's reversed, I see. So look at that. That's pretty slick. I can actually make the beginnings of my little robot car here. And I've got my wheels. So just in a couple of moments there, I've already been able to begin that. Programming, it'll be the next step. Dave Appleton saying if you could get the whole lot. Yeah, absolutely. Looks to me like the Inventor Kit or the Master Kit is going to be the ones to get. But there you go. I'm already close to a robot. But I want to understand how the brain works, because when you're programming machines, whether it be Arduino or microbit or ESP32, you got to be able to plug these things in and be able to code them. So it looks like the microbit here is included with this Master Kit. Walsingham is asking, why didn't I have this as a kid? You're asking the right questions. I had only, what were those called? Little wooden Lincoln logs is what I actually had. All right, so it looks like the microbit plugs in like this. So it looks like that. And that'll be the brain of our product right here. Okay. So we put that into the expansion board, and then the Crowbits modules are controlled through the pins. So what they've done is they've taken a Scratch-like application, and it's called Let's Code. You see that? And then you can drag over your different things, and you can use sprites, or in this case, I'm going to connect some hardware. There's the Crowbits in the corner, or a Raspberry Pi or Arduino, or what are the other things like that. This is for kids. These are the questions. Ruben's saying, this is for kids? What kids get these things? It's scandalous. Let's try this. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to put this off to the side. I'll zoom in a little bit, and we'll say events. Where's our on start here? Events. On start. Where's start, my friends? Am I not seeing this? Motion. It's hard to do a live stream and then also try to do this stuff all at the same time. Oh, those are different. Oh, that says microbit. Okay, so interesting. So I'm looking down here and it says microbit in a different color, but I don't have that. So how do I switch to the coding way? I want to see the actual code. Add hardware first, please. Oh, okay. So it just popped up a little message here at the top. It just said add hardware first. Oh, look at that. Okay. So here I can say which of these modes. So the Crowbits support multiple modes. First, we've got the microbit, and then we've got the Crowbits ESP32. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at this Kickstarter for the the Crowbits. I'm going to just take this BBC micro bit here, and I'm going to plug it in and see if this works. I've not done this before, so I'm just plugging this in like this. I don't know if I have to install any drivers or not. We'll find out in a second. Hopefully I won't crash my computer or the stream. It says we're setting up a device right now. I just got a notification from Windows that a BBC microbit is connecting. Somewhere in here it's going to show up. And what I'll do is I'll actually look at my device manager and we'll see if that shows up as a COM port, because that's usually how these things go. Okay, so we've seen a couple of things here. Serial ports and USB serial devices have just zoomed in here. And it looks like Shoko Ichisada is asking, Ichisada is saying, how do you zoom in on the screen with pointers? What I'm actually using here is I am using a tool called Zoom It from sysinternals, and it allows me to do different pointers and different green and blue and things like that. So that's how I'm zooming in. What I'm doing is I'm hitting a button, I'm making a screenshot, and then I'm pointing at something, and that's how we're doing that. Okay, so I just did this, and I just got a COM port that just showed up here. So we've got a USB serial device. Another thing that's interesting is that as soon as I plugged in the device, look at this. It actually made a disk drive. So the microbit is showing up as a disk drive, which is cool. So this device here, that's now flashing red, is showing up directly as the G drive on my computer, which is cool. So I can go and click on microbit. Ah, woo, look at that. Hang on. So this, I've got on start, show string. Okay, so that's just showing up here in their scratch-like thing. And this is cool. Look at this. As I'm writing that Python there, it's actually writing the code for me. Let me move myself out of the way. I'll put myself down here for a second. So we've got the Python language appearing here. If I go and delete this block, you can see that the language disappeared up at the corner there. We'll put it back, and then we can try, yep, and there it is. So it's actually outputting that string right there. Welcome to Let's Code. That's cool. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at this Kickstarter called Crowbits. This is a company that I've purchased stuff from before, and I've written a number of reviews on my blog about this product, and they have been kind enough to send me a couple of kits. So this is not a paid advertisement, but they did give me some free stuff to play with, which is cool. And I've actually purchased the Raspberry Pi stuff from them before, but you can go and look at their website or look at the Kickstarter. The company's called Electro. So I'm just learning how to do this. Oh, this is cool. Read sensor, servo pin, clear screen. Ooh, play melody. Does it have the ability to play music? Please connect to serial port. Connect COM3. Uploading firmware. Cool. So, oh, it's blinking now. So this guy's getting new firmware, I guess, right now. Look at that. So it's starting to flash. So far I haven't had to do anything very complicated. This is pretty cool. This is working really nicely. Look at that. So it's popped up here. You can see MicroPython in the corner there. And how do we play it? Is it running all the time right now? I'm still learning. Oh, here we go. I can zoom in. That'll be nicer for you all. So that's cool. That's cool. I guess it's running all the time right now. Let's go back to the documentation and see what's going on. All right. Oh, all kinds of things here. Yes, Walsingham is asking, is the serial port the same as the COM port? Yes. So when I say COM port or serial port, I do mean the same thing. So if we look here, that is COM3, or also what is referred to as serial port 3. Thanks for asking that clarifying question there. All right, here we go. Some microbit extension modules. Buzzer. Do we have a buzzer here? Now, does this mean that can I do this? Is this going to break if I pop this in here. Okay. Probably shouldn't be doing that while it's plugged in. Gonna end up hurting myself. Put the buzzer on here. Looks like both of these buzzers are the same. Okay, and can we play some music? Sounds. Okay. Ismail is making a great point, saying I should probably plug in the piezo, the speaker. So I'm going to unplug this and plug it back in again. Try and boot that back up. Thank you for that tip. And then I'm going to say connect COM3. It says it's uploading the MicroPython firmware. Yeah, piezo speaker, piezo buzzer, absolutely true. Thank you for that clarification. Are you seeing a play button, or is this just playing all the time? That's an interesting question. Wondering if this is happening at all the time. So what we've done so far is I've plugged in the microbit and the buzzer just together right here. We'll go ahead and we'll switch back to the desktop. And of course, keep in mind, oh, there's a bunch of tutorials. I could probably just read the tutorials, but I'm not very clever. I should probably do that at some point, but it's more fun to just play. Yeah, I did see some Chinese text pop up. It looks like they maybe did not completely localize all of their stuff there. Code uploading. Uploading succeeded. Okay, is it going to do it if I push a button, or? So that's got power. Try uploading again. Ooh. It's doing something. Oh. Oh, cool. Hang on. Let me do it again. I'm going to zoom in. I just got it to play text. So I'm going to hit upload. Watch. Let's CODE. Ah. Okay, so that's cool. So what we just did right there was we uploaded that let's code. So just by saying show string, it does have a little screen there. Ah, Dave Appleton points out it does have a little screen. Now it says play melody. I don't think it knows that we have a radio, not a radio, what's the word, a speaker. So I think we need to tell it where it is. Ah, okay. So I'm noticing here on the side of the device, it says P11, P2, P6. So I don't think it just automatically knows where we decided to put that, that speaker. So let's look here and see if we can figure out where that goes. Let's see here, my blocks, set tone frequency. Where do you tell it? Where? OLED display, potentiometer. We should probably read the docs. I want to know how it knows where the buzzer is. Isn't that cool? Okay, so we did this part. Look at that. See, we're already working ahead. Add extension. We did that. Stage and code. Interesting. Okay, online and offline. New files. Yeah, we haven't saved any files yet. Here's some toys. Set pin. Cool, cool, cool. IR, that's cool. Buttons. Oh, you can make your own custom block. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's keep looking here. Oops, you can't see this, my friend. Sorry about that. My bad. Put it back like this. Here we go. Look at all this stuff. Take practice. Show icon. Ooh, hang on. Display icons in the matrix. Okay, so I can get rid of let's code, and I can delete those. And then we can show icon. Say hi. Okay. Hit upload. Oh, I did it reversed. You see how it says hi, but it's in dark versus in light? So I came back over here. Let's reverse that. Let's go and clear them all out, and then we'll turn on high. So we have HI, okay? We'll hit upload. See? That's really easy. I think my kids are not going to have any trouble knowing how to do that. Let's look at what else we can do here. I haven't figured out how to tell it where the audio is yet because I haven't read that far ahead in the instructions. So let's switch back to here. For folks that are just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits Kickstarter. They were kind enough to send me some of these toys to play with. And you can go and just check out their Kickstarter if you like. They've got a lot of different cool toys. We are looking right now, I think, at the Inventor Kit, where these toys came inside. They're Lego compatible, and they have all kinds of cool screens and buttons and magnetic things that are all very fun. So far, I'm pretty impressed. This is really cool. I've actually purchased a product before with these folks. I purchased the Crow Pi, but what they're doing is a Kickstarter for this not the Raspberry Pi. They're doing a Kickstarter for the Crowbits, and Crowbits are these toys that magnetically snap together. So right here, you can see she's using a BBC microbit, and they also support Arduino, which is cool. So what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm a professional programmer, is how can I make some of these things make beeps and noises and stuff. So we did the screens, we did the, look at that. So we did up, down, okay, look at that. So you can connect your, yeah, you could go and connect a button and then like say up and down and left and right, and it could show an icon. That's cool. Ultrasonic guitar. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, here we go. Maybe this will make some sounds then. Okay, buzzer. P0. Okay, so on the side of the device here, it actually tells you where P0 and P1 are. So let's put our buzzer in, and it's going to snap in magnetically. You can hear it pop in there. And then let's go back to our area here and see, where do you tell them to do it? I'm looking for set tone frequency. I don't know if this one's able to play music. Let's try set, we'll try set melody, and then we'll try set tone. Click upload. Can you hear that, my friend? It is. Thank you, V. It did work, actually. Cool. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. Oof. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what it's doing here is it's converting these blocks into this Python, and then that Python is getting uploaded to the microbit, which is right here. So we've just made this little toy, and if I want to run that code, slick. That's pretty cool. So now, how far can we take it? I'll switch back over here to our screen and let's look at this stuff. Hey, how's it going? I see some friends that are coming in live. What we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits Kickstarter. I see Sipelele Tolitemba Mkwanazi is here, and we're talking about Crowbits Kickstarter. This is a STEM toy. They sent me some of these toys to play with, and they sent me some boxes. So we've got the Master Kit, we've got the Explorer Kit, the Inventor Kit, and inside them are magnetic and Lego compatible blocks, which are pretty cool. And then I set up a camera here so we can see me live. This is me down here live. And we've got all kinds of fun stuff. And then what we've done is we've opened up this application here that writes the Python for us. And I'm just kind of following the documentation here. What else do we got? Obstacle avoidance car. Okay, that's cool. Oh, interesting. Look at that. So you see this here? they are making a little magnetic thing so you can have them fit in different directions here. An LED, a buzzer, the microbit, and the two motors all connected to each other. Ismail is asking what I think about their Raspberry Pi kit. The one that I've got is the Raspberry Pi laptop, which is really cool. It's got an LCD screen. The Raspberry Pi is underneath this. You can see there's a Raspberry Pi right here. And then it's got all these kind of sensors and fun stuff to play with. And then what's cool about it is that the keyboard on their Raspberry Pi kit is actually detachable. So this is actually a wireless Bluetooth kit. So we're here, and Sipele, we're making a, I think we're going to make a car. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm looking here, and I'm thinking about, I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. And I'm looking at this, will put me over here. And I'm seeing the microbit facing this direction. So we're going to put our, does that look right? See, it actually says hi. Isn't that cool? So what do we got here? There's that. Let's get the LED. Take the LED. That's going to snap in with a magnet right there. Then we've got the two motors along the back, which is pretty cool. Let's zoom in on that. Okay, so we're trying to make this match what's going on here. All right, and then it looks like they've got the ultrasonic obstacle detector here, and then what they've done is they've added a little extender. So I'm going to take that, plug it into the top. Okay, and then plug that into, it looks like the side of the device. It's got a magnet there. There you go. So that'll be our car. So there's the face of the car. Then here's the brain. I got to be careful. I'm going to drop it. There we go. And then it'll connect like that. So then what we need to do is, I'll move this aside here, is we need to make the actual robot. Jay Whalen is asking, can you control the language it generates? I don't believe you can, because what this is using is it's using MicroPython. This is using MicroPython. And MicroPython is a really interesting thing, because MicroPython, and you might be familiar with CircuitPython from our friends at Adafruit. MicroPython is a language to use on microcontrollers, MCUs. So this is not a Raspberry Pi kit. This is actually a microcontroller kit. And the tool that we're using right now is the BBC microbit. And that MicroPython runs on a tiny, tiny version of Python that runs on this device here. So it's not. Shioko Ichisada is asking if it is Friday night here. It's actually Saturday afternoon, my friends, Saturday afternoon. What we're doing is we're taking a look at the Crowbits tool. They're having a Kickstarter right now. You can take a look up here at the Kickstarter. And we're going to see if we can build some stuff. Looking at the chat, Spele is asking, how come Arduino code is not written in Python like Raspberry Pi? Well, on an Arduino, you typically write that in Arduino C, but ultimately that turns into a bytecode that runs on the Arduino. You can use other languages to generate similar type things. But an Arduino is also a microcontroller, just like one of these devices. It depends on the flavor of the microcontroller and how you want to use that. In this case, what's cool about this microbit that they're using is that when I plug it in, it actually shows up as a disk drive, and I can go and copy that code directly onto the disk drive. So let's take a look here and make this little car real quick and see if we can do that. Here's our supplies and our structural supplies. So let's see how fast I can bang out a little car here. Of course, I'm not going to use all of these tools. I'm not going to use all of this stuff, but I am going to use some of it and probably make a bit of a mess while I'm doing it here. Okay, so it looks like we've got some Lego elements that are Lego compatible. And I'm going to take a couple of these, and it looks like I'm going to attach them. Interestingly, if you look at down here in slide 9, or step 9, we get down here, they actually plug the Lego elements into the Arduino. Thank you, V, for answering some questions as well, pointing out that Arduino is very low-level code. And C is great for talking to low-level code, which is absolutely true. I'm just looking at all the stuff these comes with. What we're doing is we're looking at the Electro kit here, and I'm impressed with how much stuff that this comes with for a Kickstarter. I'm pretty impressed that they include all of these things. And then we're going to try to build our little car here in just a second. Appreciate your patience. So then that little car is going to plug into the, oh wow, they've got actually little car elements that'll probably save us some time. So we got that little guy there, and it looks like we've got another little device here, and then 2 of these. So we'll plug those in, and then we'll plug in a little yellow guy. There we go, little baggies. It included little baggies as well. Greg Howell pointing out in the chats that Arduino is definitely resource constrained. It's a good reminder that a microprocessor like a Raspberry Pi is a full computer, but an MCU or a microcontroller is very different. A microprocessor runs a full operating system, and a microcontroller kind of boots up into an application, for lack of a better word. It's very, very resource constrained. It doesn't have a lot of memory. It's meant to do one thing. Well, even a Raspberry Pi, which is a very small device, a Raspberry Pi runs a full operating system. It runs a full version of Raspbian or Linux or something like that. So they can do surprisingly a lot of work. And then the new Raspberry Pi that they have, the Raspberry Pi 4, is actually a pretty competent quad processor machine that can do a lot. I'm looking for a piece here, wondering if I'm missing a piece. You always feel like you're missing a piece when you're doing Lego compatible things, but this right here is probably not missing anything. I'm just probably not seeing it. Well, there it is right there. Let's see what else we got here. So we'll plug this in, and then this is going to go directly into the side of the little robot here. We're going to see if we can make this really quick. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits. They're having a Kickstarter right now. You can go up to Kickstarter and search for Crowbits. They were kind enough, because I have purchased stuff with them before and written reviews about it, that they were kind enough to send me a pre-version or a pre-released version of what they're currently doing for a Kickstarter. Zipele is saying there's a lot of moving parts. There really aren't a lot of moving parts. If you've done Lego before, there's actually not a lot going on here. Let me zoom in and see if you can see what I'm doing for a second, and we'll just kind of compare. So in this case here, I'm just plugging these in together, and the instructions said to make 2 of them. Okay, and I'm assuming that this is going to somehow connect. So let's go back to the documentation and see and compare. Take a look at step 6 right there. Okay, and then if we scroll up a little bit and look at step 9, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the piezo speaker here. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I get to zoom in on this. I want you to see this. It's classic Lego style. You're exactly right. Check this out. See the little holes? That's quite clever. So they're mixing and matching, and it's fitting together really nicely. Let me see if I can add some light there. There you go. That's step 9. I think that's pretty slick. All right, let's go to step 10 over here. Okay. This is for the children, of course, my friends, not for adults. It's for the babies, for the kids. How dare we imply that this is for adults who like to play? I think we should normalize adults playing. This is fun stuff, I think. Wouldn't you agree, my friends? People should be able to play with toys if they feel like it. If you feel like you're learning something about the world or about computers, it's okay to be able to learn about stuff and play with new things. That's interesting. That's a fun thing. I'm on step 12 right now. Step 12. Ooh, okay. Now I get it. Check it out. Here's the front of the robot's face. So I think I'm going to go like this. Okay. We're all children, Walsingham. We absolutely are all children, and I appreciate you saying that. This is just tall grade school. That's a clever thing. We're on step 15 there. Step 15. That looks pretty interesting. Okay, now let's go and take a couple of these little pieces here. We're now on step 16. Seth Bauer says that his 4-year-old and his 6-year-old are watching. Hello, friends. Appreciate you playing with me today. Oops, I just dropped a Lego compatible element from our friends at Electro. There we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing step 16. You can see step 16 right there. So look at that. Isn't that cool? Oops, I did it wrong. Did I put the wrong one in? I did to the wrong one. I think I did the wrong ones. So it looks like, see, I did those 3 incorrectly. So now I got to figure out how to get them out. So I'm going to push those out. And we're going to try to find the right pieces. And that happens. That's okay. There they are. They came in a little bag. So that's cool. Tzipele is saying life is about learning through fun. I think that's a really good attitude to have. It is about learning through fun. And you learn a lot about stuff. I've built robots before, but I've never built a robot with this kit. And that's okay as well. If you're just joining us, oops, we are learning about these Crowbits. The Crowbits toys were sent to us from our friends over here at Kickstarter. Hello, everybody. And what I'm doing is I'm working my way through the instructions here. This is just one of the instructions that they have in these kits. This is the inventor kit. There's a master kit. You can make a little video game machine. These are really impressive. The more time that I'm spending with these, the more impressive this gets. Check this out. Look at step 17. I'm going to go and snap that on. Look at how this element here, look at how these electronics here are plugged into the Lego compatible elements. And I've got Legos like this around the house, so I can play with the ones I already have. Now, if you compare that to what's going on here in step 18, let me zoom in on step 18. See how that looks exactly like it's supposed to look? I'm pretty sure I did it right. So now I'm on step 18 already in just a few minutes. Let's go back to the next step. So 19, here we've got this. You see how I put the words high on my little brain here? And we've got our motors right here. Let's zoom in on our motors. Okay. All right, so now let's put some wheels on, shall we? So it looks like I just push them on. I hope it doesn't hurt them. There we go. So they gave me little rubber wheels. So now we're already getting closer to a robot here, which is fun. So we've got the brain, we've got our motors in the back. We haven't written any code yet, so all our robot can do now is say, is high. But we're getting closer, aren't we? And I'm learning how to do, while I'm doing this, you'll see that I'm changing my cameras around as well. which is pretty cool. So I'm learning how to do this here with multiple cameras, and this is all live. Isn't that cool? V says, can you try to show something animated? That's a great thing. Let's take a break then. Let's take a quick break. Let's go back over here. Let's take this block here that says show icon, and instead, let's say hi to Seth's kids. Seth is in the chat there. So let's say hi, Seth's kids. Okay. So what I've done is I've made a little block there, and then it's written the Python for me. Okay. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it in with the USB. And the little light's going to turn on, and I hear it go bup, bup, bup. There we go, it just popped up, and I'm going to connect it now to COM port 3, and we're going to go and upload that firmware, and we'll see if we can get it to say something, okay? So right now, you see it says hi, all right? I'm going to hit upload, and then what we're going to do is I'll change the camera, and we'll see if it says hi to Seth's kids. Right now it's uploading the MicroPython firmware. I'm noticing in the corner here that the baud rate is probably a little slow. So I'm going to try to make it faster, and then I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, there's the screen right here. You're going to want to watch right there in the corner. SETHSKIDS. So yes. And it's playing music too. So it looks like we can do that. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. We can get it to do some fun stuff. So we just made it do something. So let's figure out now how to plug it in. V just asked us if we could do something animated, and it looks like we can. So now we're going to take our car and we're going to plug it in together. Look at that. So if we take a little zoom in here. So yeah, we're mixing and matching. We've got our microbit here on the top. We've got our wheels. We've got our Lego compatible elements here. And we've gone and we've already getting closer to having a car. And you notice how nicely it's plugging in. So now we need to give our car some eyeballs. Otherwise it won't be able to drive. So these are our distance sensor, and that's going to be the eyeballs of our car. And I bet you that's what this is for. Isn't that cool? Sipele? Am I saying your name wrong, Budi? Sorry about that. Sipelele is impressed in the chats there. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to plug these in. Give that a little bit more ultrasonic sensor. That's absolutely right. That is what that is. So how does this go? Looks like this gives it a little bit of stability. There's two pieces like this at the bottom. That's magnetic. So that's actually popped in with a magnet at the bottom there. Cool. Yeah, I get all kinds of friends from all over the world. So pardon me if I get your names incorrect as I try to pronounce our friends from elsewhere. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty cool. See, we just put a wire from here to the front of the face of our robot. But look here. There's no wheel here at the bottom. I bet you I know what this is for. Check this out. Look at that. There's our front wheel. So now our robot can go and say, move around. That's pretty cool. Our friend from South Africa there. Thank you for coming. And let's go to the next step here. That's our circuits. All right, so now let's write some code here. So what does it say that we need to do? I'm just looking at the code here. Program to turn the car right. Program to turn the car left. Let us, Khaled, let's see. Hello, friends. How are we doing, Khaled? I'm going to try to make the code here. And what we're doing, if you just joined us, is we're looking at the Crowbits. This is a Kickstarter from our friends at Electro. And what they've made here is a STEM toy for kids. And by kids, I mean people like me, right? And it does graphical programming. It's compatible with Lego. And right now we're making a robot that avoids obstacles. The brain is the BBC microbit. And in just a few minutes, I've actually unboxed. You can actually back up and look in the chat from the start of this until now. I've been able to unbox the thing, plug it into my computer, have their software set up, and we're working on a robot here that is going to avoid obstacles. So what I'm just looking here, if I can figure out how to turn off the toolboxes here, is I want to look at my docs. How do I close this thing? Go away. All right. Let's look at this and let's compare it to the code. So we have our documentation on the right and our code on the left here. So we're going to go and get rid of the block that says hello to Seth's kids. Sorry about that, kids. And then we're going to say, well, forever. So that's cool. So on start, forever. Then we're going to have an if statement. And we're going to say if something. That's going to be cool. We're going to say if. We're going to read the ultrasonic sensor. So can I put that inside the if there? How do I do that? Oh, I see. So you see how this is in green here? That's like a question that we're going to ask. So we're going to go and say an operator, and we're going to say less than. So let's go ahead and put that inside here. And then we'll say if. And then how do I get the ultrasonic sensor inside there? Maybe our friends on the call can help us out here. So if the ultrasonic sensor is going to be triggered P0, echo P1, and if it's less than 20. So I want that to go inside here. How do I do that? I want you inside there. What's going on? So I can put stuff in there. How do I get the little box in there? That'll be interesting. Let's go back and look at the docs. Less than 20. That's cool. I want you to go inside. Does double clicking do anything useful? Double clicking opens that up so I can put text in there. I would have expected that I can drop it in. Maybe I put it in here and then I drop it in there. Nope. Interesting. Try driving it via code. Yeah, that's a good question. The question would be, though, how do I get, if I can get something into this? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's just, I see. I have to, okay, now I understand. So it's been highlighting it and I haven't seen it. So I'm going to hold this. Now watch right here. See how it touches the 20? See how it lights up? There you go. Look at that. Isn't that clever? And then look at the code that it wrote. Okay, cool. All right. So let's think about this. If ultrasonic sensor, set digital pin P0 output low. Looks like there's 4 of those. So let's go and drag them all in. Okay, and then we'll put them next to each other. And let's set digital pin output P1, P2, P3, and let's set them to low, high, low, high. low, high, low, high. Cool. All right. And then looks like we have an else, and then we do it again. So did I forget my else? That'll be interesting. Maybe I need an if and an if. If blank, then blank. So I actually needed something else. I'm going to pull this guy out of here, put it down here. I'm going to take all of these folks and put them in here. I'm going to go and get rid of this guy. I'm going to pull these into here, and then we're going to go and we're going to take all these and duplicate them. Look how nice that is. This is actually very productive. 0, 1, 2, 3, high, low, high, low. High, low, high, low. And if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits from Let Crow. These folks are doing a Kickstarter right now, and you can go and check their stuff out. It's pretty cool. They sent me some toys to play with. This is not a paid advertisement. It's just me playing with some free toys that our friends sent us. I'm pretty impressed so far. So far, we have been able to build this little robot right here. I'll zoom in and show you what that looks like. And it's got wheels, and it's got a face, and it's got a little extra front wheel there. It's got LEDs and buzzers and motors, and it's all plugged together really nicely. So far I've been very impressed with that. And we are in the process of just writing this code here. I think that's it. Let's now take our little device. Okay, I'm going to switch back to down here. And what we're going to do is just plug it in over USB, micro USB. I plug it in, my computer goes pop, pop, pop. Pops up a little thing there. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say connect to COM port 3. It's really, really nice. Question here from Mitchell is asking if we can pan around down here in the, right now it's uploading the firmware. If we can pan around the puzzle view. Yes, you can. And you can actually zoom in and zoom out. So I'm using the middle mouse to pan around. This looks like it's really nice. Okay, so let's go and upload this and see if this is going to take off and cause me some pain, because it'll probably start driving away. Okay, unsupported type. So maybe I did something wrong. Let's go back here and look at our code. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if I needed to add something else. This is our automatic avoidance car. Just looking here to see if I made any mistakes. I think I plugged everything in correctly. Built the structure. All right. Let's go back over here. Not sure what they're complaining about. Unsupported types. I don't know, what unsupported type is there? Anyone have an idea? I'm going to go ahead and save this. It's interesting because I haven't done any, gone through their tutorials. They have a whole rich series of tutorials and a ton of cool stuff here. Their stuff includes support for microbit, for ESP32, and these Uno devices, as well as Arduino and all their different stuff. So I'm pretty impressed with the amount of stuff that they include. Looks like our friend Andrew in the chat is offering to look at the stack trace. So I would appreciate it if you would help me with that. So let's go down here and let's look at what's going on. Unsupported types, type int. What's the condition in the in statement? The condition is looking at P0. maybe I plugged my ultrasonic into the wrong plug. Could have this turned around. Let's just briefly go back to our docs and just make sure that that's plugged in where it wants it plugged in. P4. Just checking my numbers, making sure everything's plugged in the way that it wants to be plugged in. Looks cool to me. And everything's on. Okay. And when we hit upload, it says machine reset. And then it gets mad. Machine reset. I think my baud rate's correct. It's not too high. And it's still running. It's still saying things in the chat here. It's saying, it's actually putting the error is actually happening on the little screen here, which I think is kind of cool. When all else fails, you unplug it, plug it in again. Again, this is a beta. They've sent me their early version of this, so I've got a daily build of this stuff. Yeah, good idea. Let's erase it, put it back. I want to find out how to save my code here. And you can also switch over to Python and do the work directly in Python, so I can certainly edit this code if I wanted to somewhere else. Where's our save? How do we save? File, save project. Scott Robot. Cool. All right. And Scott Robot. We've already proven that it works. And it looks like a little Chinese error message there. They haven't updated everything. Please connect the serial port first. Connected. Uploading MicroPython firmware, it says down here. Uploading MicroPython firmware. So it is actually still thinking about stuff, and it's uploading the firmware right now. There we go. So it's connected. Code uploading. And then it says file line 29. Don't know what's going on there. Goodbye, Seth and Seth's kids. Sorry I couldn't get my little robot to move yet. But I'm just wondering if I've done something incorrectly. But that's fun. If you're just joining us, we're looking at the Crowbits right here. And let's do this. Let's switch back here. I'm going to pull that out and let's do a test on start show string and see if that works. And then we'll look at our code and see if that works. Okay. Uploading succeeded. And that's working right there. Okay. And then we got a reset. So that's cool. So that works. Let's pull this guy out temporarily. And then let's just put in an arbitrary number. We're just going to say if 10 is less than 20. Yep. Mohammed has got the same idea that I've just had at the same time. Fixed number. Oh, let me put the forever in there. Pin 3 in display mode. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, so it's saying that pin 3 is being used for something else. So that's interesting. I bet you I did not read the docs. Because when we go down in here, we scroll around, there's some interesting conversations that happen talking about the pins and what's being used for different things. And one of the things that they said was about a pin being ready for display mode or not display mode. Here we go, print the ultrasonic distance. That might be interesting to try. So let's pull that out, and then we'll say print. And maybe try that. Print the ultrasonic distance. Okay. Where is it going to play that? Print that out. Is that printing anything down there? Put my hand over it there. It says none. Print forever. Oops. Upload. Oh. Hear that? So it's moving the wheels. Okay, that's interesting. What that means, here, you can see the wheels are moving right there. So that means my pins are wrong, because that's moving, aha, that's moving pin 1. Okay, so that's cool. So the ultrasonic sensor works, and the pins work as well. So that's cool. You can hear that moving maybe. You hear that? So we've turned pin 1 high. Cool. All right, so that proves that the motors work, and that proves that I can do stuff. I'm just doing something wrong. All right. So that's pin 1 here. Oh, hang on a second. Where is our documentation again? Echo P4. I don't think that's supposed to be on pin 1. I think that's supposed to be P4. That might be a documentation error. All right, let's try this. Pin 4 in display mode. Interesting. Okay. Read the sensor. Pin 4 in display mode. So where is it supposed to echo that information? Maybe you didn't plug the ultrasonic sensor into pin 1. That is probably true, actually, my friend. It looks like it's plugged into P4. So if we go back here, it says P4. So P4, and where is it supposed to echo to? Pin 4 in display mode. Yeah. So what I'm looking at here, my friends, is, oops, I should have been showing my screen. Sorry about that. What I'm looking at is this here, reading the ultrasonic sensor, which I think is on P4 right now, and then echoing it, and I'm not quite understanding how it wants me to do that. So that's cool. So we're learning about how to do this. It says echo P1, which I don't think is correct. So let's try pulling that out, putting that back in, and what do we say here? Oops, now I'm getting all messy now. Yeah, how's it going, everybody? If you're just joining us, we're playing with the Crowbits toys that were sent to us from our friends at Electro. They've got a number of toys that are available, including this master kit and the inventor kit, and they include all kinds of attachments and widgets and stuff. They've got a pretty cool Kickstarter going on right now, and they sent me some stuff. So what we're doing right now is we built a little robot car. This kit right here, Mohammed is asking what kit that I used to build the car. Right now, I have built the car with the Inventor kit. This is the Inventor kit. And the Inventor kit included all this stuff that you see in front of us, all these devices. It included the BBC Micro, the wheels, everything, extra wires, instructions. It came with the buzzer, the LED, the gesture sensor, the color sensor, the BBC Micro, the ultrasonic sensor, the IR ones, and the motors. So that was all included. Here's what it looked like, and you can see that I've taken some of these off and I've put them together as I'm trying to build this little robot here. Here's the ultrasonic sensor, the LED, the buzzer, the two motors, and the microbit on top. And then if I switch to show my screen right now, you'll see that what we're doing is we are, just doing this, and we're kind of seeing what we can do. So right now I'm saying, according to their documentation, read the ultrasonic sensor in centimeters, and if it's less than 20 centimeters, back up, basically. So it'll go forward until it hits something, and then it'll back up. But what we're confused about, and our friends are helping us out here, Shoko is saying, maybe I didn't plug the ultrasonic sensor in correctly. So what's happening is, the ultrasonic sensor, it says, is on P4, which is interesting because here it says P4 is in display mode. And when I upload, we're reading from P4, I don't know what the echo is supposed to do. See, it says P4 in display mode. So I think that's important. And if we look at the docks, here you go. We can get a little more sophisticated, forward, back, left, right, basically make it a little simpler. My guess is that it's probably a bug in this little chunk of software. I think that this is not right in the docs. They do label the pin on the board. It's P4 right now. P0 and P1 and P2 and 3. These pins here, that's one motor and that's another motor, and those are labeled. So P4, it says, is in display mode. So display mode tells me that it's trying to read from that. But then I don't understand what echo means. So that's where it's confusing, right? Maybe you can try the microbit board the other way around. No, I definitely know the microbit board is correct because I've made it actually spit stuff out before, and I've turned on the display. So I'm pretty sure that the microbit board is correct. I could try turning it around. I don't know if it would hurt it or not. I'll do that in a little bit. Pin 4 in display mode. So let's go and do this. That's time to Google. We're using MicroPython. Pin in display mode. Yeah, Ismail is pointing out that the pins might very well be the pins on the board. That's a great point. What I think is if I go back in here and maybe I search for display mode, that perhaps our PDF has got some documentation that I'm not seeing. So I'm just going to search the documentation just really quickly. Display. Sorry, I'm typing slowly today. Display mode. Okay, that doesn't appear in there. Let's try mode. Bluetooth mode, model building, microbits. Yeah, they got Bluetooth. They got a bunch of cool stuff. There's a ton. In this documentation that came with the Inventor kit, I kind of skipped ahead too far. They go through step by step and they explain all of this stuff. So here's what we're looking at. So when we talk about about different modes, my friends. P0 up here is what we're currently plugged into for our motors. So the motors are plugged in here. And right now, this is what's plugged into the ultrasonic sensor. Maybe it's P10. I don't know what the two next to each other mean. Maybe one is a write and one is a read. So let me try uploading that one. That says pin 10 in display mode as well. So I'm getting a notification both times. So I feel like I may have put them into different modes when I did my display work earlier. P4 echo P10. Let's try it. Did you get it? Are you making it work? No, it still says P4 in display mode. So I'm just going to scroll through here because my gut tells me that I've missed something by not reading the instructions. And it was specifically about modes. And I'm even wondering if there was something in the docs earlier that warned me about the relationship between the screen, clear screen, calibrate compass, digital read pin, LED show, OLED initialization. Go back to the main board picture. So here's where the motors are plugged in, and the LED is here, and the speaker is here, and that is the ultrasonic sensor. Hello, Ryan. The nerds are doing well. Thank you for asking. If you just joined us, we're spending some time looking at the Crowbits kit from our friends at Electro who make cool stuff. So pin 11 and 12, that is currently the LED. That's the LED. Ooh, hang on a second. I think you're right. Maybe we're echoing out to that. Oh, I wonder why that's not there. So this is interesting. Some of these here are available, but notice how 7 and 5, 6 are missing. I wonder why that is. Maybe it means echo P12, meaning send it out to the LED. Let me try plugging it into a different slot, because we have other places to plug things in, and that's okay too. So I'm just going to plug it into 19. I don't know if that's not allowed, but let's find out. No, it's not allowed. So it does want to be plugged in where it is, which is P4. And then 12 or 11 is the LED there. So how do we clear this? Let me move me over here so you all can see what's going on here. And then we're going to upload and wait a moment. How do you test the sensor by itself? Waltingham is asking the right questions. Let's do that. Let's print out, let's say print, and then we'll pull out that. Ryan saying, are kids supposed to be able to do this? Does it seem a bit complicated? Well, so that's a good question. Let's talk about that. So this is a toy for kids, and they can use their iPad or whatever to go and mess with it. In this case here, the friends at, oops, let me pick that up. our friends at Electro have gone and sent me a beta. So this is a beta kit. And if the instructions were right, it's probably a mistake in the instructions, it would have worked just fine. Before you showed up, we were already able to turn the motor on. We were able to make the LEDs blink. We were able to do all kinds of cool stuff. So for example, if we take this one right here, I'll go ahead and make my screen big, okay? And these plug in together like Legos, okay? I just snap them together without doing any coding at all, okay? So I'll plug that, and I'll take an LED, okay? So I've already got an LED to light up. Then I could go and add a sensor in front of it. And now I've got the LED blinking. So yes, a kid could do that, absolutely. 4 or 5-year-old, this is just magnets, super fun. Then if we get into the more advanced stuff, like this, where we're looking at what's on my desk right now, which includes a ton of other interesting stuff, like these Lego elements, and things start to get a little bit more, more complicated. Whoops. What? Oh, hang on now. Now we're cooking. Okay, so that's interesting. I just bumped it, and this buzzer just touched accidentally, which means that we're actually spitting out a high pin on one of these other pins. So that's cool. And that actually happened to be one of the pins down in the corner there. So it turns out we actually are doing things. It sounds like some of the pins are used to drive this display, and I need to reset that display. So let me just hit reset. So you can actually see the display right here. See? Turn that off. But I'm going to get going. I'll play with this a little bit more and maybe do a blog post. Look at that. See? And then I'll plug that in. And then that will go and drive these different things. So once I figure out which one of these isn't plugged in right, I think it will work pretty well. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Again, our friends over there at Electro sent us this stuff, and I suspect that either one of the pins is wrong in the documentation, which is not uncommon for a beta product like this. And let's go ahead and just try one more time and see if I'm doing something wrong. Because again, in the docs over here, I think we were on page, where were we? At page 99 somewhere. Looking at this ultrasonic sensor. See here it's saying P10 and P4. P4, let's try P10 again. I think P10 is actually where it is. And I think that 11 or 12 is actually the output of the LED. Yeah, see it says P10 in display mode. So if we go back here, it says P10 in display mode. So I think that CyberDude is correct there, that I have taken this display and put it into some interesting mode. So let me try one last thing. Reset BBC microbit. Is there an issues section? The documentation is really impressive. Alap Shah is asking which kit is good for a 5-year-old. Probably this one, probably the Hello kit, the Hello World kit would be the better one. This one here that I showed at the beginning has little cardboard boxes inside, and you can goof around, but I would probably say this start with the Hello. What's cool about these kits is that they all work together. This one here that I'm playing with, this is the Inventor kit. This is probably more appropriate for a 10 or 12-year-old. I would say probably that one, and then there's also this Master kit that I haven't gotten into, which would be better for older kits. So I would probably say the Hello kit, or if you've got the money, the Explorer one right here has the most stuff. But for a little kid, I would go with the Hello. I haven't even gotten into the other stuff and the other kids. So Cyberdude is saying that he put a link there. I don't think links are allowed in the area there, but let's go and see if you can tweet me or something like that. Crowbits issues link. I don't see your link there. Reset on the back. Sorry, Cyberdude put a link in the chat, but I can't see it. All right, now I'm just trying to reset this and then set it up there again. Google this. Pin, display mode, arrow, micro, Python. Okay. MicroPython gives an error, display mode. Display off. Aha. See, I knew that. I knew I read this somewhere. Clear screen. Where's the display? How do I turn the display off? Yeah, I agree, Ismail, that the docs are wrong, but I also think at the beginning, I think that I failed to turn it off. Set screen, enable screen. Here we go. Clear screen. Disable screen. Here we go. Pin 10 in display mode. Type directly in the Python. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to let me do that. I'm trying to figure out where to do that. Digital read pin, clear pin, OLED clear. So right now I'm not getting the ability to do that. Right now I can't type directly in the Python. If you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at the Crowbits from Electro, having some fun messing around here on an afternoon, a Saturday afternoon. And one of the things that we're doing is we've already been able to make it do all kinds of cool stuff. We've got lights turning on with these little magnetic bricks, but we're running into possibly a documentation issue here. Well, the problem, so Cyberdude is saying with the display, the problem is that the display is literally on the device. This is not just the display, it is the brain of the thing. So it's not a thing that you can actually remove. It's either on it's not on P4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try 4 again. Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on. That's not, we're not getting an error anymore. Okay. P4, so did that work? We disabled the screen. We uploaded it. It flashed. Machine reset. Hey, Delilah, how's it going? You're just getting here. What we're doing is we are looking at the Crowbits toys. We've got a couple of them already doing some fun things. They're Lego compatible and they have magnets. So we got that LED turning on. And let's take a look. Cyberdude right now is helping us out. The initial values in the if. So these here, P0 and 1 and P2 and 3 are actually these pins here, right here. So if I switch my camera just to make sure that folks are following, this here is 0 and 1. 0 and 1 here. These motors, we've already proven that they can move. Okay, and we know that they are working. What we're not seeing yet is why it can't seem to get any input from the ultrasonic sensor. I wonder if I put the ultrasonic sensor upside down. Nope. There's only one way to plug that in. So that's not the case. And P10 echo P4. Oh, you did it. Okay, so now the motor's going. And it's going backwards. Okay. So what we're not seeing yet is the ultrasonic sensor affecting it, but it is spinning now. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It worked on one of them. Now it's going forward. Now it's going... Okay, so one of the motors is working. The other one's not thinking right now. And when we upload it, is the display backwards? I don't think so, my friends. I can spin it around, but I don't think so. Let's try it. I'll be surprised if that's the case. Nope. Ismail says, let's look at the forever code. Let's switch back to here. Okay. We upload that. It immediately starts moving one of the motors. You can hear it, I hope. Okay, that motor is going back and forth. So something is working. Thank you, Irfan. Nori is saying hi. So I'm seeing something as this motor here is moving. And for a second there, it was alternating. It was switching back and forth. The motor right now, the motor that's moving is 0 and 1. So this one is moving right now. So I hit upload. It's going to reset. This is going to stop. Hit code uploading. There you go. And it's stopped. So we can see that that's moving. Let me see this. Let's remove the if and let's just make them move. Okay, so that's backwards. So the top one is backwards. Let's try the bottom one. Okay, that's forwards. But this motor here is not moving. So what I'm looking to see is if I can get both of the motors going forward. So right now, only one of the motors is moving, which is interesting. I'm going to try something. I'm going to actually flip these around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the motors and I'm going to switch sides. Okay, now this motor does work. The other motors are plugged into 2 and 3. Ah, look at that. Both motors are going now. So they're both going forward. So P0 is high. and P2 is high, and both motors are going forward. I'm going to pull that out now. I'm going to pull these in, and I'm going to expect it to go backwards now. Okay. Pull these out. Put this back in. So now they're moving different directions. So they reverse each other when we go like this. Let me try this again. There's a little switch on the motors. Interesting. There's a little switch on the motor that allows you to control what forward means to the motor. So that's backwards. And this is forwards, I think. Ismail's saying maybe it's disconnected. Yeah, they are acting a little weird, aren't they? P1, 2, 3, high, low, low, high, low, high. I think I need to think about these switches. So if we go back down here and look at those switches, try to remember what page it was on. Wasn't the guitar, obstacle avoidance car. Here we go. Ah, see? Look, I told you that there was a disable screen. They're absolutely disabling the screen. Ah, look, okay. High, low, high. I think there's a documentation here. Documentation issue. High, low, high. Okay, that's forward. So this is forward. Now let's fix this. This is backwards. All right, that's the problem. Okay, that's backwards. Now, backwards, forwards. So it's a doc. Yep, Ismail was right. He said, let's talk about reset port on start. Appreciate that. Okay, so now it's going backwards. All right, see that, friends? There's backwards. I'm not sure if the sensor is working quite yet, but it starts out going forwards, and then it backs up. I think I disconnected the serial port there. Cool. So what we're doing, if you're just joining us, is looking at the Crowbits. I think we're gonna be done now, because now I got the motors working. I feel good about it. And what we're doing is we're writing a little bit of code following their instructions here to make an obstacle avoidance car. It's pretty cool. And I'm watching our friends on the chat helping me out. Appreciate you all. And I'm just learning what works and what doesn't. Right now we've got both of the motors going back and forth here. And we're actually, look, I got it. Okay, you watch. You hear it switch? You got it. You see that? We got it working. All right, look at that, friends. Okay. So what's happening there was a little bit of a documentation error that I'll tell that team. We've got P10. So here in their docs, right here, P0 and P1, the pin's actually P10. And then P4, where we're echoing out of, is the same one. And then Ismail and Shioko were correct that we need to disable the screen. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and I'm going to tell our friends at this company that there's a little documentation issue there. That's pretty cool. Isn't that nice? So what we're doing, if you just joined us, is we're looking at the Crowbits tools here, and we just made a car. I can now turn it on, and it's moving the wheels, and it'll do that based on whether or not the sensor in the front sees anything. That was the inventor kit. The inventor kit is right here. The inventor kit. So pretty slick stuff. We're, as Jason says, we're just a minute away from making our own Tesla. So very cool stuff. Check it out. Make sure to check out their stuff. Check out their website. They're not paying me for any of this. I'm just playing around, but they did send me the car to play with. So thank you for spending so much time with me today. This is great. I appreciate all of your help. Ismail, Shioko, everybody in the chat, Cyber Dude, helping us figure out what that bug was. So it looks like it's just a bug in the docs. And fortunately, since this is a beta, by the time it comes out, I'm sure that'll be fixed. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.